The Chicago Bears were adding depth to their wide receiver room with the additions of Byron Pringle and Equanimeous St. Brown. And with that, welcome back, guys, to another episode of the German Bear Podcast. And today we have to talk about these latest two additions by Ryan Poles. Poles and the Bears have been taking a slower approach to free agency, and they're patiently sorting out and analyzing the market. And I really think it works out for them at the moment. Lots of great players are still left on the board and are now possibly willing to sign cheaper deals or short-term deals. With that, I mean guys like Juju Smith-Schuster, Jarvis Landry, and OBJ are all wide receivers that are still available and might take a 1 to 2 year prove-it deal. Also, guys like Teron Armstead are still on the market. They might not take a cheaper deal, but with the patiently waiting thing, you can really sort out and explore your options, and that's what Ryan Poles is doing, and I think it's really working out. But let's start talking about the newest Chicago Bears. They're adding former Chiefs wide receiver Byron Pringle and former Packer Equanimeous St. Brown, like I mentioned before. So let's take a deeper dive into who these guys are and what they can bring to the team. And the first guy I want to talk about is Equanimeous St. Brown. And I think he's a solid depth piece that you're adding to your team. He's probably your wide receiver 4 at max, probably more like wide receiver 5 or 6 that can come in at times. And what definitely stands out with him is his big, massive bodied frame and his just straight up athleticism. He's 6'5", 214 pounds, and is a sub 4.5 speed guy, which is incredible. He was drafted back in 2018 by the Packers in round 6 and really had a solid rookie year with 21 receptions, 328 yards, but no touchdowns, a 54-yard reception that was his longest one in that year, and he started 7 games, which for a 6th-round rookie is great. But his production got actually worse every year. In 2020, he only had 7 receptions, 117 yards with 1 touchdown, and in 2021, he had 9 receptions, 98 yards, and no touchdown. The positive about him is, though, that he has familiarity with Luke Getsy and his scheme, which is great. And I mean, Getsy probably knows how to use him the best, so I don't mind the pickup at all. He's not a flashy signing, but still a young player that has all the physical and athletic tools to work with. I mean, he's 25 years young, like I've mentioned. And I don't know, with his physical and athletic tools, he might even be able to take a step forward as a player with the Bears. He will be a depth piece, and we don't know how the contract details are yet, but I imagine it will be pretty cheap, so I like the pickup in general. He might give you some good plays, and it's nice to see the Bears at least get some bodies, because we all know that the Bears only have 2 wide receivers, or had 2 wide receivers under contract yet, Mooney and Dez Newsome, so at least we're getting some guys in. But that wraps it up for Equanimeous St. Brown. I think he's a solid player that still has maybe some upside, has the body type to really succeed in the league actually, and with the familiarity with Luke Getsy, I think you get a solid player that gives you some good plays. And now let's move on to Byron Pringle, the second signing of day 4 of free agency, and I think Byron Pringle is a great signing for the Bears. He really is an underrated player that really showed out last year. He signed a 1-year, $6 million deal with $4 million guaranteed. So it's really a 1-year, low-risk, high-reward prove-it deal. He's 28 years old, even though he got to the league in 2018 as an UDFA to the Chiefs because he was a 25-year-old rookie, which is not bad. He stands at 6'2", 205 pounds, and ran a 4.46 40 time, which is great. And if you watch him in games, he really has even faster game speed. So you're adding a guy with lots of speed and talent still. He started his career off a bit slower with 12 receptions, 170 yards, and 1 touchdown in 2019. In 2020, he put up similar stats with 13 receptions, 160 yards, and 1 touchdown. And in 2021, he really had somewhat of a breakout year. He recorded 42 receptions, 568 yards, and 5 touchdowns with 13.5 yards per reception and a PFF grade of 66.5. And the thing with him is he definitely brings a lot of speed, good hands, and somewhat experience as well. He already played in 2 Super Bowls and won the one in 2020 against the 49ers, and I absolutely love this pickup, I have to say. Pringle will definitely play a bigger role in Getsy's offense, probably, I wouldn't say wide receiver 3, but probably wide receiver 4. And I think for $6 million, you're getting a great value deal. The main focus in the draft might still be wide receiver though, because the Bears are still looking for that true wide receiver 1 or 2, depending on how you see Mooney. But we still need someone next to him, so they probably will take one with pick number 39 or 48 now from the Chargers with the Mac trade. But with Byron Pringle, you're at least now good at number 3 or 4. And the free agent market still offers good options as well. Like, I would love the Bears to bring in Juju or Jarvis Landry on some good deal. Landry would be the perfect veteran option, that safety valve for Justin Fields, and you can easily get him for a 1 or 2 year deal now, I think. So that would be one addition or one player to mention that I would absolutely love the Bears to get. And he's still productive. Like, he had somewhat of a down year, but he didn't play every game last season. And I think he still has some good football left in his tank. He's 29, I think, and on a 2 year deal, he will be 31 by the end of it. So he's one heck of a slot receiver and would, like I said, be that safety option for Justin Fields. So I would love to get him and someone in the draft. And then you're looking at a wide receiver room with potentially Darnell Mooney, let's say Christian Watson, hypothetically, right? But it would absolutely be fire. Jarvis Landry, and Byron Pringle, with Equanimeous and Brown and Daz Newsome probably as the depth pieces. And then you're looking at a really good wide receiver room that Justin Fields can definitely work with. But let's see what happens the next couple of days. Those 2 deals were definitely ones into the right direction, I think. We now addressed wide receiver with 2 players, offensive line with Lucas Patrick. If you want to check out the Lucas Patrick episode, feel free to do so. Also, linebacker Nicholas Morrow, and the big signing, defensive tackle Larry Ogunjobi. So I really like what Ryan Poles is doing. I'm so excited for the next couple of days. I will keep you guys updated with some videos. But for now, that wraps up the episode, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you liked the video. Check out Instagram for the latest news. And as always, guys, bear down.